Hello and good evening for Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. We have just finished watching the second episode of Survivor 47 titled Epic Boss Girl Move. But we're just getting started here on Super Mader Brothers podcast, live stream here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. You may be listening to this on the audio version. I'm Dave Mader, joined with my brother Jeff Mader here.
Right.
Hey, Jeff. As we see the second person voted off, Survivor 47. Spoilers if you haven't seen the episode.
Total knockout
himself. TK goes out here.
Really?
That's right, Jeff. They thought it was
Don't
going to be
smile, Dave. Don't smile after you lose.
Don't smile. I don't respect people who smile after they lose. It's just not right. That's not what you do.
That's not being a team player.
That's not being a team player. That's it's just not respectable.
And if anything Survivor is about, it's about being a team player.
It is about being a team player. I guess, that was what TK said. Can we just lament a few of TK's, moments here in his exit interview?
It was a great move. I mean, I can't be mad at it. I felt like I had some really good connections, but, maybe my personality was a little too bright. Me showing a lot of emotion at the end of that last challenge put some more fingers towards me, but if they don't value winning, they don't value winning. And obviously by this decision, they don't value winning much. I'm just excited for whatever happens in the future because
they don't value winning. If they don't value winning,
he answered that just like a pro athlete would answer like a question too. They don't answer. Not that gonna do. I'm just excited to see what's coming next, and on to the next. It's like, yeah, you're going to Ponderosa, and they're gonna give you a ticket back to the States. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Correct. TK, Taryn Foster, as he's known, Daryl's draft pick, by the way, from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. That's a tongue twister. He's a social media. No, he's an athlete manager, marketing manager. Is that what it was? That's what his little byline under the episode. That's kind of why it makes sense that he was an athlete, I guess here. But he kind of blows up on them.
It's almost guaranteed he's a football player.
Or he was a football player.
I don't think there's any chance he was a basketball player. He gives me the vibe of a football player.
Do I know? Is this any of this in his bio? I'm sure he likes to watch football, go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So he now works
gave
as a
me wide receiver vibes. I gotta do what I gotta do, but it's for I find the NFL and just football in general or whatever, it's very individualistic.
Yeah. When football was taken away from me due to my illness, I told myself that some way, somehow, I would work in professional football. I went to college and studied sports management, and many of my professors said that I would likely end up in insurance due to me picking that major. I now work as a marketing manager for the NFL and their players. Once again,
I now work in insurance.
And now they all said I'd work in insurance with that degree, and now I do.
Actually, they were right.
They were right, but whatever. But actually, no, he proved them all wrong. He's living the dream. TK Foster at 31 now over there in Marble, but not the dream on Survivor 47, as he is the second boot of this season, Jeff. As the Tuku tribe, the Blue tribe, loses their first member after collapsing in this challenge, and there was all this it was looking like, it was going to be like this power four on the Tuku tribe with, TK, Kyle, and they also had, was it Tiana? Yeah. Right. And Tiana, and also Gabe was sort of a sort of their fourth member, but not really, because Gabe was always planning to work with Sue and kind of Caroline, even though Caroline doesn't trust Gabe.
Well, she didn't at first. Like her first initial reaction was she thought Gabe was bullshitting her.
Right.
Which
we don't get a confessional of her coming around on that though. We kind of.
Well, she does. She says it in her confessional that basically, at first she was not with him, but then he showed her the island, and she did think it was desperate, but then she was the more she talked to Sue about it, the more she was okay, it seems actually legit. I think she was worried that he was bluffing her.
Okay.
And it seemed I think the more time went by, they're oh, he's not bluffing, he's actually wanting to be with us. Well,
and I think they also didn't have a lot of choice once they kind of realized where things were starting to lie once they lost the challenge, and then they knew where they were going to tribal. And I think that Caroline sort of had to, come to grips with some of these things potentially, or Sue did at least, or Sue pulled her in. One of any of those combination of things, right? Based on what we get in this edit here.
I think it was like a combination of like where they were in the tribe. Sue also was kind of like that good mediator, and that's what Kyle tried to be between TK and what's her name, Tiana. Yeah, who and doesn't take it to rocks here. Also, like the idol play, I understood why he did it because he could only play it at one tribal, right?
Yes.
So I understand why he played it, but like play it for Sue, like just like like
too bold of a move. I don't know. Like,
no, like play it. Like I get why he played it, but like why play for yourself? Like,
but he knew he had the votes. It seems
he was. I think he played it for himself because if he didn't have the votes and it was 3-3, right? And then they do the revote, he's not allowed to get voted out. So I guess like maybe I'm wrong, but I think he kind of knew who TK was going to vote for. You know what I mean? So like, why not just vote? Why not just play the idol and just get it over with right off the bat? Rather than like risk it going to 3-3 vote. And he knew. I think
he knew, but I think he was also like after last season, he was not going to take the chance that he was going to play it wrong. So he was just like,
what do you mean after last season? What happened last season?
A lot of people get voted out with the idol in their pocket last season. Like the record.
Oh yeah, I understand playing the idol. I just think he should have played it for Sue and just won the vote right straight out. And then he would have built a lot of trust with Sue, and Caroline would have been like, "Yep, he's real deal. He's really with us." Because there was a chance Tiana, maybe Tiana told him like, "No, I am voting TK."
Well, if they had done that, they could have potential. I don't know. Like it seemed like Kyle, of course, was very blindsided by all this. They didn't tell him.
No,
that they were going after him, so he was like, no, not TK. What's happened? Everything's done. I suddenly went from being on the top to potentially now being on the bottom of this group moving forward.
Yeah.
And Kyle was the first overall in our draft, Jeff. He's highly coveted. He's
Kyle
just a country
went first overall.
He went first overall from Sean. He's just a country boy from Sheboygan.
Okay.
He doesn't mind being out there.
I don't know if I like that pick for first overall. He seems kind of like timid.
He seems kind of shy, but nice, I guess, or whatever. It seems like obviously he seems like just like a good competitor, but not necessarily, I think, a super strategic guy. I think he's just like strength in numbers, pair up with the strong people. And that's, you see here, that Gabe on this blue tribe is very unorthodox. He's like, I don't want to pair up with, go out with these stronger people. I want to work with Sue. I'm here to work with the oldest person on the tribe.
No, like at first that's what he said, and then he clarified later. Basically, he wants to drag them to the end so he thinks that will ultimately get him the votes because they're pathetic or something. Like, like that's basically what he said. And I was, yeah, he was like, he literally said, "Oh yeah, if they're sitting with me at the end in the final 3, write me the check already." That's what he said.
Okay.
So he basically thinks that like I thought like at first it was like, yeah, it's like I understood the logic. Like I'd rather work with someone older or like someone like a little bit more like emotionally like in control of themselves. That's it's very important in Survivor. I don't want to work with like loose cannons, that can change on me on a dime or will blow my cover, or you need someone who kind of understands how to like control themselves. And right. So like I understood that logic, like that's what I thought he was doing. And then he said the thing about, oh, I'll just take them to the end and then I'll win. I'm like, oh, so you just like think that they're going to be perceived like they're pathetic women.
That they didn't do enough or didn't, like, because he's not expecting them not to do well in challenges, of course. So
sure.
Which is a big thing about what people like to vote for at the end, especially if they were a target, and they kind of protected themselves. They see that as some sort of winning out, which I think can be something to vote for, but I don't think it's the only thing you vote for. But
Dave, that defines the new age of a Survivor player in this new era.
oh yeah, is that? I had to pull the new clip here.
Really?
Really. I love the new Jeff, the new era Jeff, where he's that was Sue saying like it's the old people against the young, or no, the men against the women. I think is what she said.
Right.
The men ganged up on the women. He's like really, which I really enjoyed.
I think that was
Really?
perception stuff, and that's what I don't think that was happening at all. There was no bromance. There was a bromance between TK and Kyle. That was pretty obvious. But because that TK could not shut up. All he did was talk. And if I had to hear bruh one more time tonight, I might not have watched next week. Jaemeel, what's your opinion on TK?
I've seen TK and players of his ilk forever. I've been on teams with people like him. I've gone to school with individuals like him, and it never works out. For him, he thinks that other people are the problem, but he is the problem. It's all cool not wanting to lose,
right?
But that's not how you motivate a team, right? Mm-hmm. That's not how you talk to people, especially people who are not necessarily in sports.
Even in sports, actually, more in sports, you don't do this. Because you're going to just piss off your teammates. They're not going to like you. They're never going to pass you the puck.
Yeah.
It's like...
How many times...
I don't like to lose. It's like, congratulations, no one likes losing. That's like a dumb statement.
They don't value winning, Jaemeel. If they don't value winning, that's how it is.
Can't help
I don't
them.
have to tell you. If you don't value it, if you devalue winning, then he doesn't know what to do with you.
I also find who sleeps on the beach in the scorching sun though? That was kind of weird. I understand
that's the melanin. That's the melanin, dude.
No, not him. He wasn't. He was just talking.
He was also
the two ladies that were sleeping, Tiana and Sue. I'm like, why are you sleeping on the? I get the beach is probably a little more comfortable to lay down on. Although
not comfortable.
Okay, but sleep in the shade.
Jeff, you see Sue and you see her skin. Mm-hmm. She spent a lot of time in the sun. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she's used to it. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I couldn't handle it. I'd burn like a red lobster.
Maybe she's a pilot, right? She's above the clouds, maybe there's no sun, there's no cover on her.
I'll tell you what type of pilot she is. She is a pilot who is, I bet, pretty decent at her job. And then she gets to these islands, and then she goes to the beach, and then she stays there, and then she, gets on her suit, flies to a next beach, and you can see the wear and tear on her skin, because if she goes like this and hits someone, it's like leather on someone's chest. It's
a lot of UV rays. It's
yeah. And then Tiana. I think it's Tiana, right? Tiana?
Yeah, I think so.
Tiana, I have no doubt that she tans a lot.
Yes, yeah, and she's darker complexion, so she's got that ability to. I still don't understand why you would want to sleep on the beach, in the full sun. I get the beach, but not the full sun.
So
I'm a white boy. So
here's a little thing: melanin or no. Staying out in the sun without proper protection is still a bad deal, right?
Skin damage is important. Jane likes to tell me all the time.
Yes. You would not find me, right, sleeping in the sun.
Right.
On the beach in the middle of the sun. Yeah,
I just think weird choice. I'm like, it's also hot. It's a lot cooler in the shade.
Right.
It didn't make any sense to me. It's I'm like, this is why you lost the challenge. I mean,
it's also a very large beach, and he didn't have to have this animated conversation with Kyle right next to them. Come
on, brah. Oh my god, he would not stop. I'm just I could understand why they were annoyed with him. He was not. Would not
Kyle's just putting up with, Kyle's just putting up with it.
Oh yeah.
Kyle seems like a peacemaker. He doesn't seem like a guy who likes to rock the boat too much, and he's gets along. But he wants to work with TK because he sees TK as a good challenge guy and somebody who wants to work with him. So why not? But
they didn't lose that challenge because of strength. Gabe messed up that challenge.
He might have done it on purpose. Too.
Maybe, but like, look, I pick Gabe, and I'm like, Gabe, what you doing? Don't do this to me. Right? Just let me at least get 3 episodes in before my top pick gets out. Anyways,
Tiana took a long time to do the maze thing. And you know, like I do find it interesting now in this new era of Survivor, Jaemeel, that they never really blame people for challenge fails. It's kind of doesn't matter anymore. Not that it should. But.
Sorry, guys.
Oh,
that was
Star Trek Radio Theater coming up.
Yeah, quick on the gun there.
I was a little. That was the wrong move there.
That's okay. Dave,
I was trying to remember who your team was, Jaemeel, and I was.
It's Gabe and Kashan.
Okay, Gabe and Kashan.
So I apologize for my tardiness and also not being here last week. So if I have the grace, please, may I talk and throw you two under the bus?
Oh yeah, we haven't talked to you about the first episode or any of this really. Because
you want to talk about what's his name, Sam?
No, Andy.
Andy. Can we talk about Andy? I wanted to talk to you tonight about Andy's stabbing of this rice bag, and I am concerned. Like,
it was a lot of anger in those thrusts.
I was like, this is like an audition for a murderer, basically.
He looked like he enjoyed it.
When you hear about the guys, like they were stabbed 47 times, like that. That was.
I'm like, how is that even possible? And this is how it's possible.
You saw it there. He had to pass the psychological profile. He had to, right, before getting on the show.
I think they might have laxed some of these guidelines. I'm just seeing if I can pull up the clip here. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Because Jeff has to say, like, watch your hands.
Yeah, he was concerned.
Yeah.
Anyway, throw us under the bus, Jaemeel. What were you going to say about that?
Well, sorry, I was just making reference to him throwing his seemingly his lifeline under the bus.
Left-handed too. Look at this.
Yeah, that's yeah. Lord.
Continue, Jaemeel. I just wanted
also no emotion on his face. He's just like going to work.
It's
another emotion too, but
he does not seem emotionally stable enough to be on this show, and it shouldn't be exploited that way. That's one thing, right? 2, going past that point and him being an individual, and I'm thinking back to, was it Trelane on Star Trek? If we're thinking back to Star Trek, and people
Squire of Gothos,
people appeasing him. Good job, Andy. Wow, you really cut that coconut. Yay, everyone! Hurrah!
They have to babysit him, Jaemeel.
It's Stockholm syndrome a little bit.
Oh my gosh, I felt bad for the members of his tribe, because.
They're worried he's going to kill them in their sleep, so they have to praise everything that he does.
Yeah, I do have Trelane on the soundboard. Eh?
My greetings and felicitations.
Yes.
Women, do you mean that you actually have members of the fairest sex among your crew?
Notice that who's his lifeline? He tried with the
Rachel.
With Rachel. And Rachel was kind of pumped the brakes a little bit, and he just flew off the handle in the worst way. He could not sleep. He needed to get reinforcements immediately. A mummy pulled on her skirt and it's like, I need my medication right now because my tum don't feel too good. Right? This dude, I'm red flags galore.
Yes. And having said that, someone that works for the Democratic Party couldn't oust him in a tribal council. What does that tell you?
For someone who's supposed to be such a talker, what a whimper of
God. He was horrible.
He did not fight for your life or something.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Did you see his interview with Rob Cesternino?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was hilarious. He's just like, Rob, nothing could go my way. He's so defeated.
Yeah, he was defeated before I think he even started playing the game.
Yeah.
I would agree.
You said Jeff last week was having no mercy on him. He's like, they read this man for what he was.
Oh yeah, they did. And they knew he was a weak weak operative. I think like also
Operative. I love that. Operative.
nobody knew, like nobody knew who that guy was. Like nobody, like but he was like,
You
I'm
ever
a
heard
pretty
of
big
Pod-
deal, guys.
Pod Saves America, and everyone's like, you can
What's
just hear
that?
a fart.
Yeah, everyone's like, "What's that?" It's like, yeah, because nobody knows what. Most of these people probably don't even vote, let alone care about what you do talking about politics.
No,
might vote,
Andy
you know.
votes. Andy votes.
Andy votes.
Andy
Andy
votes.
votes. Whichever party makes him feel better.
Right. The Green Party. Andy votes Green Party. Let's be real here.
Oh my god! Like that tribe, the Yellow Tribe, I felt was a very interesting tribe. I don't think they could do anything really until like he's gone. I think they're kind of stuck trying to working around him. They're just working around him.
If I'm Sam, I'm keeping that guy around as long as possible.
Oh, he's gonna.
Well, you see here where Sam says to my draft pick, what's her name? Sierra. Sierra, he's like, I think we should work with Andy. I think we could trust Andy. And Sierra's like, oh no. What do you mean? Like, that's not what I thought here. We also get that whole dynamic on the Yellow Tribe that we find out in this episode that I guess Annika and Rachel are pretty tight, right? As well. They're kind of a pair within this,
because
Yellow
Annika's
Tribe.
pretty stable. Annika is also going to take that lead position, and Rachel's like, yes, please do, and I'll be able to work with other people and be your number two. So
Annika had that moment tonight though in the challenge with I think she was who was she doing that with? Rachel and Sierra, I believe. When they had to finally put the ball in the hole of the snake puzzle or whatever, and he's just like, stop, what are we doing here? What are we, because they were
but
all
that's what you have to do though.
Yeah, no,
that's what you have to do.
No,
Whereas
it was fine, but it was hilarious too.
Versus TK's like, stop. Oh, like
what are we doing
put
here,
you
bro?
on the team. Come on, coach, you got to cut these guys.
You gotta stop this, man.
He's the one that if something goes wrong with the team, he's the one who's like, I can't believe you did that, or like throwing his hands up, like that demoralizes the team.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, not a team player.
Why
you don't want to be doing that.
I don't know how Kyle didn't see that either. It's like, I do not see this guy's like,
yeah, don't you see that? Yeah, like, well, Caputo can have those moments too when we're not winning a game, right? Where he's just like, screw these guys, screw you guys, we all suck, and then he just wants to like, have a fit, right? Because you're just you're so competitive, right? They can't let it go.
But like, I find that I'm very competitive. I'm just not good enough to, there's also that. So it's like self-internalized, that type of thing, right? If we're gonna do better, I gotta do better. Versus, come on, team. Like
the only one you're ever going against is yourself, right? You're competing against is yourself. Well, not really.
Well, people like to say lead by example, but that's not leading by example.
Yeah,
that's not. Why was
the only person you're truly competing against is yourself?
That's right, Picard.
If TK is such an alpha, why wasn't he in the front position instead of Gabe?
Well, yeah,
he doesn't know how to play this game.
He doesn't know how to.
Kyle?
No, TK.
Oh no, TK.
Because he can't smash something or hold it up.
Yeah, it's not, you're not playing, like, you're not qualifying for the Olympics. This game has not very little to do with physical ability. It's like the traders, you're going out and playing some competitions just to get through it, and then you get to the real stuff, which is the votes. But some people can't see beyond, like, oh wait, we gotta win money here, we gotta win a competition, oh my god, that's everything. And it's like, no, it's like it was nothing to do with what's going on. Like
that team lineup made no sense. That wasn't about strength, that was about finesse. And so Tiana,
when they did the challenge, like I agree.
Okay.
TK should have done the maze thing. He had the longest arms.
Yeah, and
the longest arms, I could just go whoa.
So the pilot, no, she can't do that. The person that they're concerned about physicality, Sue, right? She's on the back burner for that when finesse and patience should be there.
Yeah.
It should have been Kyle, Tiana, and Sue doing that.
It was
Yeah,
the three.
'cause
It was the three
it
guys
was
here.
all 3
for
guys.
the-
Yeah, and that was the problem.
with Gabe in the middle and TK and Kyle on the flanks. Yeah, and so in the back we had Tiana and Caroline. So that means Sue sat out this challenge completely.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, Sue.
But like
Carolyn,
It's
the
kinda
red
weird that
tribe had
she-
Rome. What's his name?
Rome,
Who did it?
Keyshawn,
Keyshawn.
and
Keyshawn. I don't know
who's
the red
one-
tribe as well, to be honest with you.
Who's the one, the red, the striped shirt in red? I can't remember her name right now.
Teeny?
No, Teeny's not. She's watching.
Yeah,
with
Teeny. Yeah, Teeny's
Genevieve. It's Genevieve. It's the Canadian.
Oh yeah, the girl I have,
Yeah.
Genevieve.
Genevieve. Is it?
yeah,
yeah.
or I don't know. She's probably
Is it
French.
Genevieve or is
No,
it
she's from Winnipeg, so it could be French.
Yeah.
But I
This
think they
is the
call it
most unflattering thing that Rachel is wearing.
Oh, what
Team
that?
Jeff. Team Jeff.
It's up-
There's my girls.
Yeah, Team
I
Jeff.
still got my girls and Big Brother too. Riding strong.
When Blue lost this tonight, I was like, well, all my people are safe. Red and yellow are looking okay, but
Jeff-
Jaemeel had to bite his nails a little bit here.
Yeah, a little bit. I love that picture. That's what it looks like. I hope they last. That's what it says.
I don't know.
I don't
Hustle,
know.
boys. Come on, you gotta hustle.
Right.
Jeff, your
Yep.
2 girls, is it MJ and Leah?
Yes. Not looking good.
Are you coming tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know.
brother?
You should come tomorrow.
I heard Leah's not doing so hot. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's the veto episode happening right now. We had to, skip that.
Well,
tonight.
I already know the results for that.
Yeah,
Um,
I see glimpses, but I try to wait to see the episode. But we'll talk about it all tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah,
here
no.
on this channel.
I just looked up what happened.
All right.
At least one of my girls is doing well.
No, I want to know.
No. Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
a brief overview of the people because I missed last week's episode. I'll be very quick. Anika, a lot more interesting than I thought she would be. A lot more aggressive, and that's cool. We'll see how it goes. Rachel, I think she has a good sense of the game, and I can absolutely see her in the long game because she noped out of the Andy situation as quickly as possible. Sam's playing too hard. Sam's playing way too hard and talking to way too many people, and it's just a matter of time before they drop Sam for Andy, and then immediately get rid of Andy when they start losing.
Sam's well, Andy's got it for the long haul, guys.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere for a while because he's just like nobody believes he'll win the game. So why vote him out? Like
Because of the stabbing. That would be my reason. I
Right.
mean, like, can we just vote him out on account of the stabbing?
There was another one though. Was it Rome that he was stabbing pretty good too?
Yeah, but he was
yeah.
doing it in a less. Okay,
No, he was doing the Mamba mentality,
Bravo
which
mentality, yeah.
which I loved the responses like, I don't know what that is, but sure.
yeah.
There's nothing stupider than when I hear people say Mamba mentality, right?
Yeah.
Mamba mentality is just a coin of phrase that they use in the tail end of Kobe Bryant's year years of his career to rebrand him after the sexual assault allegations that he had. This is the same man. Mamba mentality means paying off refs so that you can win a championship. So that's Mamba mentality.
so look here. This was the red. This is the red stabbing.
No, that was Saul. That's your dude Saul.
Oh, it was Saul. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
Rome.
He has Saul power.
Saul
See,
power.
Jaemeel, we haven't really talked about that, but
Who's-
the fact that you criticized him in the chat made me
Yeah,
draft him.
That
'Cause
was
you were-
that line was the dumbest line I've ever heard.
on
It
his
was-
bio.
yes.
It's amazing.
Who
What
stabbed
are you
for the
talking
blue team? Do we get
about?
that?
Okay,
Even though it was Kyle.
it
was
was
Kyle.
Kyle, and he did more of a slicing motion.
Yeah,
So
I
he
would have
did-
sliced too.
He's
Yeah.
a farmer. He's a farmer. You could tell that he was cutting the bag properly, and then
Yeah.
he dumped out the thing instead of trying to wiggle his hand in it.
Is this it here? So I'm trying to find the blue version of this.
That was good. Saul reminds me of too many people I know, and I like Saul a lot. I like Saul actually.
So I like Saul too. So far, we haven't seen a ton of him here. Oh man,
Yeah.
good.
Just even his reactions to Rome, who's just
He's like, I've never met anybody like him. He's good.
I
Then
have.
he goes to a slice. I think Kyle actually did it the fastest.
Yeah, Kyle did the
Look at it.
fastest. I've seen Rome. All these you've seen these hotshot guys who like has like 1 or 2 episodes of success and totally bombs out anytime any type of strategy gets into play or he has to rely on other people because people just don't like him because it's all talk. It's all talk and it's annoying, right? I'm like, where's Jackie Chan? Where's his partner for his stupid buddy cop movie? Because he is the idiotic, dumb, fast talker protagonist in his mind.
Rome?
Yes, Rome. I'm dancing all the time. Like,
yeah. Okay, Jeff.
I bet people were hoping he was gonna trip and fall into the fire.
I'm getting like Joe Siviero vibes off Rome, but like sort of like that kind of but even weirder, maybe.
Yeah, there's definitely some weirdness with Rome. Yeah, I don't know. He just seems kind of like stop talking. Just please stop talking.
Can we just talk about his dancing though? Like
Lord.
This is some moves.
Asia's loving it. She's digging it.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
Like there's always a Rome too that you meet in life that's like, I know everything, and I'm great at everything too. Yeah, I can dance, I can podcast, I can do everything better than you, and I already know. Don't even talk to me about what you can do because I already can do it better.
Yeah,
that's him.
He's gonna rap, and then after 3 lines, he's like, "Oh, I forgot it, but I could do it.
I could do it. No, but I could do it. Like, I know. I just forgot it right now, but I used to be able to do it.
Yeah. I got it. It's in a pad and paper at home. He's gonna dance during a challenge, and I hope they lose. I hope they lose so badly.
Right. It's an interesting tribe, I think. Like Jeff's pick there, Genevieve or Genevieve, whatever it is. She's the one we've seen the least, but the rest of them are, we're starting to get a sense of who they are. Tonight we saw this whole thing where, Rome chooses to tell Teeny about the fact that he finds the idol or the clue to the idol at least. And he shows her the box. He shows her the box in the middle of the night for no reason. She totally tells Keyshawn. She brings Keyshawn to show it, and then he walks up on her in this episode. It was amazing. He's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I wanted just to bring him in with us, and I should have told you I was about to do this, but I didn't. Sorry." He's like, How
was he supposed to trust that? He's like,
No.
automatically, I'm the third in this alliance. You brought him in. You didn't come to me and then have him brought in.
Right. Yeah, like it was lame, and it was obviously, but everyone was hoping to go after him, and now that he has the idol, no one is afraid of it. Okay, can we talk about the rocks thing, guys? I mean, I'm a little upset with. I don't think I really understood how rocks work until tonight. Okay, so let's say they had voted for tonight a tie. Like, let's say we have a tie with Sue and TK, right? 3-3, and then they revote, and if there's still a tie, they would go to rocks, but only the 2 people who had the votes cast against them are not part of the rocks.
They are immune.
That's BS.
That's the rule, dude. That's the rule.
Change the rule. It's unjust.
No, it is just. It puts pressure.
No sense.
It does. It puts pressure on the individuals. You need to make a decision. If you don't, I'm sorry. We're taking the decision out of your hands. Everyone else is going to pay the price.
It should be that the 2 people who if you're still tied after a revote, then they go to rocks, just the 2 of them, and then whoever gets the
no
50,
way
50 chance.
that would be so abused, dude. That would be abused. That's the opposite of what you want. You want the tribe to make a decision. You're forcing them to make a decision.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why do we have to force them?
What? Like, hey, Jeff, in Survivor, we're no longer gonna vote people out. We're just gonna let things happen.
Because if you don't do it, Dave, what's gonna happen is they're just gonna keep tying their vote. It'll go 3-3, and then it'll go 2-2. It won't matter. Yeah. So you need to make the people that you're gonna vote out immune. Because
You're making them have to form a consensus majority, or at least try to.
yeah,
Correct.
exactly. At least the first time, because if ties, then it goes to the revote, right? And then they could do it again. But so you're giving them 2 chances, basically. And after that, it's like, yeah, well, now you don't get to vote these 2 people out because you can't come to consensus as a
Mhm.
tribe, and now you're in trouble. That's the whole point. Like, like you can't have it both ways when you're on the good side of the numbers. You can't, and so basically, it flips it on you.
Okay,
Just
but
just imagine if this was like Big Brother. They're like, well, I don't have blood in my hands because I didn't vote you out. I tied, and it
I
just so
tried to
happened that
save you.
rocks. You just got out by rocks, not by me.
Okay,
right?
okay. How about all 6 of them would be eligible for rocks? I don't think that the people who have votes against them should be immune.
No, I think they should be immune.
Come on,
Yeah.
meet halfway here. Let's
No,
compromise.
this is one rule I think is actually genius. It's actually one of the best rules, and it makes sense, and it forces them. Anything that forces them where they have to make a decision, they have to take ownership of their game, should be done. None of this like, oh well, I get to leave tribal council type of. I hate that rule. That advantage is dumb. I hate it. You need to stay there, and you need to participate and be a part of it, right? So about what happened tonight,
Yes.
I think the person who's at the bottom, or should be at the bottom after this tribal, is Gabe. And the reason for that is, so you make this deal saying, I'm willing to go to rocks. You tell Sue, you're number one,
Yeah.
and she agrees, I'm going to go to rocks. You have, was it Carolyn, who doesn't trust Gabe, right? And it's like, I hope we don't have to go to rocks, but, let's try to force Tiana's hand. And then they end up forcing Tiana's hand, but Gabe makes himself immune by playing his idol, right? So what that means is if they did go to rocks, that means Carolyn would be the only one from their trio who would have been eligible to go home. So
So now he's probably alienated Caroline, who didn't trust him much to begin with.
I would feel alienated. Why didn't you let me know?
Right. Why do you think they left Kyle out of it?
Oh, because they don't know. Kyle and TK were way too close.
Too close, yeah.
But if you're Tiana, wouldn't you go, hey, Kyle, sorry, we had to get rid of TK. We were put in a position and we had to draw rocks. I didn't feel comfortable with this. The other side already came to me to talk about it. But I think us 4 going forward should work together, where we add Sue and Carolyn to the mix.
Mhm.
Gabe can't be trusted. He had that idol. He was searching for an idol. And, if you had you were resolved to go to rocks, and then you tell people you're going to do that, and then you turn around and don't, you save yourself, right? You pull the ladder up and then hope everything works out. I couldn't trust that. I wouldn't want to trust that.
Well, yeah, I think that's very likely how episode 3 is going to start off. Basically, what you just described. Like, if Tiana follows convention, which she probably will, she'll probably pull in Kyle, like you're describing, and then say let's go after Gabe next, because she wasn't even that tight with Gabe. She was trying to work with Kyle anyway, and I think that I think the TK was sort of who approached Tiana in this episode. Was it TK before Kyle did? I can't even remember now.
So, Kyle and Tiana were talking by the fire about what happened, and then TK walked in, right, and was like, "You talking about me?" Then Kyle,
that was later on. That was about
no, but that was after
what
the
happened at the
challenge.
challenge.
No, but it kind of led up to it, because then Kyle and TK had a conversation, right, and then the 3 of them had a conversation about that. Carolyn, Sue, and Gabe were trying to figure out what they're going to do, and they said they were going to go for rocks, but they were going to ask Carolyn to talk to Tiana, right? And then assume that Gabe is not part of their group. It's those 2 trying to pull Tiana in, and then we're going to try and pull Gabe in so that we have 4 to vote out TK.
I think it would have made more sense for Gabe to try to bring in Tiana like that. That's what I didn't understand. That I was like, why are you making? You are supposed to be in this 4-person alliance with Tiana, Gabe. Why don't you talk to her rather than the 2 girls that she's trying to put out? Made no sense to me.
You know what I think it is? It's once again people thinking that they're out, like they're smarter than the game.
Mhm.
Gabe's like, I don't want to seem disloyal because it was supposed to be the 4 of us. So
Right.
if I have Carolyn do it, then it's just me going where the numbers are. And
I think, but yeah, I agree. But I think it's really stupid to do that because
dumb.
what you're doing is you're putting all of the friendship and trust into Carolyn's Sue's hand. Sorry. And you're kind of like you're losing a relationship that you had and giving it to someone else. Kind of stupid.
Yep, Jeff, you're right. You're right. I see the flaws of my player.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't seem as bright as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Also, his idol play tonight, like we were talking about before that you got on, Jaemeel, was like, why not just play? You knew the votes were going to Sue. Why not just play the idol on Sue?
And build that trust.
But instead he's an idiot and plays it for himself.
Well,
feeling a little
with a
froggy.
big dumb smile on his face, like it made no sense.
I like it. Look at
Sue's
Sue's
like-
face. It's like, okay,
I know what
I
you're doing.
I either get voted out or I'm immune.
Right.
So I hope I'm immune if we go to rocks. Like I would have zoomed in on Carolyn's face, because if I was her, I'd be like, dude, what the hell? You throwing me to the wolves.
I see why Carolyn isn't. Look, yeah, she's all confused. Like, look at her face. And she's like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like
You
her
know,
look.
and
The
like-
look is like, what is happening? Because was there a blindside here on Gabe that I'm not aware of, and I'm not part of either? Or like, I think Caroline's legitimately.
And then when she saw the votes, she was like, okay. She probably thought, well, that was stupid. And yeah, how do you not think it's stupid? Because he was not like in the dark. It wasn't like he was on the bottom. He was actually quite the opposite. He was like completely knew where all.
He was in the middle.
votes
He
were.
had a lot of control here. Basically.
Yeah, he was in the best spot you could be in, and it made no sense why he did that. Like, why would you?
TK looks
Well-
very confident here going into these.
Yeah, maybe he was just trying to throw them off, but like didn't matter. The votes were done. It made no sense. I don't know. He doesn't seem too bright, this Gabe.
Oh, you got your.
Oh, nice.
No, I got a cup.
Oh, the Tobago.
Trinidad. Oh, she's back from the trip.
Nice.
Oh, what happened to your sound?
Oh, that's when you press the button to mute because you don't want to talk while Jeff is laying down some street knowledge.
Yeah, no.
That's true.
Facts.
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 Facts, bro. Facts. Bro,
I'm not
all
impressed
those-
with this Gabe. I mean, he's not impressed.
Yeah. There's some messy players on this cast. All right. You
Mhm.
know, we got Rome, we got Gabe, we got Andy.
Yeah.
And
Andy's not messy. Andy's just not. He's
He
not
shouldn't be
game
there.
ready. Yeah, he shouldn't be there.
He shouldn't be there.
he shouldn't be there. Did you see the looks he gave to the other tribes as they walked in tonight? Like
No. Was it intense?
it was intense.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, that combined with the stabby, like, was very concerning.
And the
You
show
know?
is not like hiding his they could
Insanity?
be editing it in a way that he comes across way better. But they're not. I think there's more to come with this story.
Yeah,
with
but they're
him.
not playing the dodo music too.
No,
they're like mental health is important, so we're not playing the dodo music. But we're gonna
Right.
present him in a way that totally looks like he's friggin' insane, right?
Yeah.
More
No,
or
it-
less.
it-
We're
it's
gonna
like-
give him a knife in this challenge. Let's see how this
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. They probably had to decide like who's going where, and the producers were probably like, "So you're giving Andy the knife to stabby stab." Okay.
Why
all
don't you
right.
give Andy like let him have that part here? Okay.
Why don't
okay,
you give him the peg with the maze? Why don't you guys do that? That'd be better. No, stabby stab.
Pegging is
So-
not PG.
Here's the moments when Andy walks up here in the challenge to see when the other tribes see him. He starts making these smiles, right? And then he starts doing this wave and this crazy head bob here.
because they all expected him to get voted out.
Yeah.
I
he's
think
like,
that
"I'm
that's
back."
and he's kind of like, hey, I'm still here, but also they're not cheering for his coconut, So it's should
In
we all
the
just kinda-
previous episode, when he went on his rant, and the other members of the team were like, "Shh, just shut up, just try to save him, like be quiet, don't like people like started like telling him to stop talking, right? That tells you something. Where the other people are just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see this train wreck continue.
Right. Well, it's kind of like, is he do we need to be worried about Andy? Should he be holding knives and machetes and other
No,
things?
no, I don't. I jest. I think that my underlying issue is he does not seem like he is in the proper state to be on this show, and he shouldn't
No.
be on this show.
Now, something
Ultimately,
bad could happen too.
and I mean for him, in his sake, because especially when you see the emotions with little prompting swing so hard,
yeah.
right? That's not, and this is day 3.
Yes, and this is why you do like the mental evaluations. Like that's why the shows do them, because it could go south. Like, and not just for himself, but other people around him. Because like the signs of like the whole scene where he's chopping the coconuts and they're basically having to like be like the monkeys with like the symbols. It's a bit much.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's off-putting. It's like it almost feels like this is how cults get started, because they're
Proud of you,
terrified of this guy's
Andy.
energy.
She's like, yeah, with the knife, yeah. Just look, what would have happened if TK was on that team?
TK would not have. TK and Andy, I don't think would vibe.
No,
Unlikely, right?
unless they're winning. They're winning. TK love them.
That's a good
Oh
one.
Lord, oh, I worry.
Yeah.
Did Sam mention who's his girl?
I don't think so. Did he? No, I don't think he has mentioned. He hasn't. He's not always here when we have this Survivor Big Brother overlap.
Okay.
And he's he wants to make sure he's watching the Wednesday veto episode.
For folks who are not in the know, Sam is a super fan and has been with us for a long time. And typically every season he picks who's going to be his main paramour of the season.
Right. I would guess probably Sierra, maybe.
Really? I think it's Rachel.
Rachel. Not with this outfit.
Not with that outfit, but with like her hair tied back. She's kind of adorkable, right? She's the typical age range.
That's not Sam's type.
What, adorkable?
Yeah, exactly.
Adorkable is Sam's type.
No, he likes the vixen. He likes
you would think that Sierra
the temptress. I don't think Sierra's the temptress, but I just think that's probably the Mackenzie, if she was on Survivor, but she's not. She's on Big Brother. So
I think it's harder with this season of Survivor for him.
The girly girl, whoever the girly girl
is.
Yeah. Are you a girl's girl?
Hey, girl's girl.
Are you a girl's girl?
Well, she's the pageant one. She's the pageant one. Sierra is.
Girl's girl.
Sierra seems about right.
Okay. We'll see. I think it's Rachel.
He'll probably be here for. He'll probably be here for Big Brother tomorrow, so we can, if we remember, we can ask him here.
Yeah,
girl's girl. Yeah. Okay. Well, how about just these 3 tribes in general, Jaemeel? Like, how do you feel like the yellow, blue, and red tribes? Of course, blue and yellow have both lost a member now. Red still 6 strong, or sort of how are you feeling about them overall?
I think the assessment was correct in the first episode, where like a yellow seems like the more strategic, has a lot of the puzzle people there. Blue has the physical strength there. I don't know how they're saying that Sue isn't strong, right? I don't think she's. I don't think she's built for like a longer challenge, but like burst energy, she looks a lot stronger than than Caroline does.
And she might be good at puzzles and things. You don't know. I don't know. Like she's only been in a couple challenges. She sat out this one in this episode, and Blue won when she competed in the other one. So I don't know what but there's always this feeling like who's the least athletic of the tribe is. I guess they figure this out or come to a consensus over the few days that they're out there together. And so, but.
I made my feelings known in the draft in our chat group that Carolyn can't be trusted. Right. I think that she's on vacation, not necessarily as desperate to win, right? As many other people.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that blue team has a strength. And then
even without TK now?
Even without TK. Because like Gabe,
I guess
and
they have Tiana, Kyle, Gabe, even like they're and I don't think that Sue and Caroline are either of them seem like slouches. I'm with you there. I think that if anything, that this red tribe has, I don't know, like there's is it Aisha or no? It's Asia, right?
No, isn't it Aisha? Asia?
It's Asia. It's
Asia from Rob Has a Podcast.
Right.
Which got the name drop on the first episode.
She did, yeah. That was fun. Rob was very happy if you watched all his podcasts after. I had to tune in for that. But they're an interesting tribe, and they have this Rome character who's kind of like the wild card. But the rest of the five of them seem to be tight, and they seem to be vibing well. There doesn't seem to be a lot of divide. Teeny seems a bit like she's a bit of a schemer, I'd say.
Teeny's a little bit like Sprite from the Eternals.
Yes.
Yes. Good assessment, I think, as well. Yeah. And I think that we'll see what happens if they do end up going to tribal in the next episode or not. If they win again, they'll probably swap up the tribes or like do a bit of a.
I want them to do a journey thing where they have like not advantage, or they have the middle challenge, and then they send off 2 or 3 people, and Rome has to go, and of course they don't trust Rome.
No one trusts Rome, but he'll have this idol, and there'll be this fear about going to rocks or whatever, and so they won't target him because of that. And that's the flaw in the rocks game.
No, that's not how rocks work. If Rome uses his idol, right, that means whoever has the most votes next is going to be gone. So unless all of them pick,
there's that. But even if you end up tying, there could be like a
you do a revote.
Potential. You do a revote, but
then Rome is not available.
Let's say Rome plays the idol unexpectedly, and then you have 2 votes against, I don't know, like Teeny and Keyshawn, right? And so now we can only vote for Teeny or Keyshawn, but somehow they're deadlocked after all this happens, and therefore it goes to rocks on everybody but Rome, who will still be safe from the idol.
Yep.
So people will say, no, we can't do this.
And that's why on the revote they would debate, and then they would probably change their mind to one of them because they don't want to go to rocks.
Right. I'm saying they would never even let themselves get to that situation, because that's why they won't target Rome, right? Because they'll be afraid he'll play the idol. They'll try to blindside him, get him to either vote him out without him knowing, but without coming off of last season, that where everyone got voted out with the idol in their pocket, and Rome said he absolutely will never do that. Rome is very likely to play the idol as soon as he can.
He's only going to play it in the first one because it's only eligible for one.
Well, he'll just go out and get a new one the next day, right? So
he'll try to.
I think that this is just going to, if anything, drive his fellow tribe mates nuts, and they ultimately won't try to target him, at least in this first tribal.
Well, yeah,
right. And who will they? Who's the next option in that tribe? There's no clear option.
Well, that's only because we haven't been shown that.
In these hour and a half episodes, if they can't find time to show us that, like I'm led to believe it doesn't exist.
Well, they typically focus on 2 tribes, and will they, won't they, right? And that's been yellow and blue, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I get it. That's true. Can we talk about
yes.
Sam on the yellow tribe? This whole thing tonight where Andy finds the beware advantage and hides it in the tree like, okay, this whole thing was incredible, right? Where, and so Sam is in charge of babysitting Andy, make sure he doesn't go look for an idol. But then Sam has to go to the bathroom, and then so Andy starts to look for it. And then Andy finds it just to not hide it well and leave it in his
No,
hiding
he has
spot.
to leave it right there.
He has to leave it
Oh,
back.
okay. So he chose not to take it then. He was going to come back for it later,
He
right?
was going to think about it.
Yeah.
So
honestly, for a player like Andy, it's probably a good thing he didn't take it.
Yeah.
I actually thought that. I was like, it's probably best that he didn't take it, because he needs to like just not do anything in the game as much as possible and let the others eat each other, because the more he attracts attention to himself, the more they're just like, we need to get rid of him.
It's gonna be worse
the
off for
more
him.
he sits around and doesn't do anything and like doesn't take advantages, the more like he's likely to stay, because he's not a threat to anybody. He's literally like the exact person you want to drag to the end, because nobody's ever going to give him credit for winning anything.
His final speech is like, you guys like me, and that's why you kept me.
Remember?
So I'm so happy.
Remember when I cut those coconuts? You guys like that? Yeah.
Right. Well, I think you're right. You're right, Jeff, that it was the best possible outcome here for Andy, because he leaves it there. Sam finds it along with Annika, or Anika. Then there's this whole thing here where Sam tell Annika's there when he finds it.
Yes.
And then because Annika knows, but we find out that Sam's number one is Sierra, and then he's like, well, I need to tell Sierra right away, because she'll be very upset if she finds this out. And then he goes and tells Sierra, and Sierra's like, well, if Annika knows, then Rachel knows. So basically everybody but Andy
have
knows.
it flipped.
Right. And then he
talked to Rachel first.
And then he's like, Annika will tell Rachel, so I'm going to pull in Rachel. It was kind of a, brilliant move in the way he went about this, kind of making sure that nobody would feel sort of left out of the
except Andy.
Right. But then Andy tells him the bomb. He drops the bomb on him in this episode that, hey, I hid this thing in the tree, and one of the girls must have found it. And Sam's just listening and go, yeah, that must be it. Those damn women, they're out to get us. We got to stick together here, Andy, and this is where Sam's like, Andy could be an asset now.
You know what's going to end up happening? One of the girls are going to tell Andy. Andy's going to find out that Sam was lying to him, and Andy's going to be like, I thought you were my friend. I thought you were my friend. And go after Sam.
With hopefully. The knife? What are we, the son of Sam?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I wouldn't let him have it. Like when Rob, Sister Nino in his original season was like, why does he have to keep the machete so sharp? I'm a little concerned with this. I'm getting like those vibes. Oh my god, it's not essential for here. Okay, we talked about the three tribes. We talked about the challenge tonight, and I don't know, and how this all shook out. So I don't know what else. What else is there to touch upon?
Are you liking the challenges so far?
Yes, and I'm also happy that there haven't been I was okay with the journey in the first episode, especially if they've been longer. But I was glad that there was no journey here where you get to send a person from the other tribe onto a journey where you get to go do whatever and they get to talk, but they're not there with their tribe. I don't know. I don't need it.
Are you missing the flashbacks to their past and
no
past photos?
No, I don't need I've had a struggle in life, and I get everyone's got a story and all those things, but I don't need all of that, quite frankly, sprinkled in.
Are we going to learn about Andy having pig's blood dropped on him during his high school prom, and how unexpected fire broke out and all of his graduating class passed away?
There was a fire, and we have no idea how it started. It was very traumatic. Yes, I think so. Well, Andy's actually from Buffalo, if you guys didn't know, not too far from here, but now lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah, so eventually when he gets voted out, I do want to hear the deep dive into his feelings on the questions you really want to ask someone from Buffalo, which is, what is his favorite pizza place?
Okay.
Right?
What does he think about Niagara Falls?
What does he think about Niagara Falls? Which side is better? What's his favorite wing place? And has he ever bought a car from Lockport Gambino Ford? Because I want to know.
Has he ever met Selena and Barnes?
Yes, Celino and Barnes. Right, these are the questions.
There's some interesting like answers in his like. Have you guys read his like
Yes,
answers?
I did, and I knew it was like an automatic no.
Like, who is your biggest inspiration and why? My maternal grandfather for serving in World War One and for being one of the few Democrats on either side of my family. That's
wow.
a very specific answer.
Very specific.
Is he like I feel like he's half Asian. Is he Asian?
I'm not sure about that. Andy Rueda, I think he's maybe.
I feel like he's like a Pacific Islander. That's
Yeah.
like the vibe I get from him. But
maybe. I don't
He's
know
not.
if I have.
Who's the one who's from Hawaii?
Who's from Hawaii?
Chemo?
No.
Tiana. Tiana's from Hawaii.
Tiana, yeah. Tiana is.
But okay, also here with Andy, he says, what's one of his favorite hobbies? Road trips, even though I can't drive. Why can't he drive?
Some people choose not to drive.
Okay.
Some people are physically unable to drive, Dave.
how old is he?
31.
Oh man,
He shouldn't be on the show. Come on.
he should be on the show. He lives in Brooklyn, like so he wouldn't need a car if he lives in Brooklyn.
He probably like my guess is he might even work at home in Brooklyn.
He's the AI dude, right? He's the AI dude. Yeah,
He did all those equations, remember?
yeah. He doesn't need to drive, and he probably has no interest in driving
But he
whatsoever.
likes road trips.
Yeah. So he has a member or a former friend that lives in Buffalo, and they probably drive down to Florida.
He says he comes across as very carefree, but underneath he's extremely intense. That I believe.
You see someone's like,
He
yep,
has a-
on the nose.
he has an excessive amount of hyperactive thinking. I
Which
am
is why,
able-
like, when you put him onto a task, he's like really good at it because he's just a bundle of energy and his brute force is whatever he's doing. But when he doesn't have like an actual task and he just starts spinning.
right. Is there a more disastrous team than perhaps in our draft than Team Foster? Can we just bring that up? I know he's not here to defend it, but
What's his team? Rome. Is it
Andy in Rome?
Of course it is. Oh my God.
What a team!
which he took back to back in 9 and 10, by the way.
Oh Lord.
Wow, he's like, I think I gotta have them both.
I have to. Yeah. Right.
I want to like go to the bar with both of them and see what kind of conversations happen.
Yeah.
Rome maybe more so for me than Andy, but I don't know. I'm a little...
Like Andy probably likes Moana because when I look, could you go back to the photo?
Mhm.
Isn't that like what's his name from
The
like,
dad, or you mean like the
Rock's character? I forget
the Rock's
his name.
character?
Maui's, that's Maui.
Yeah.
With
Make
the,
way, make way.
right where it's like the tough experience.
I
It's
love
a
this
perfect
show.
evolution of beer growth.
That's
I
right.
think I've seen this comment before. Is this an AI comment? Tell us something else.
Yeah.
Love it. It is.
Well, not with me. Not with me. This is it. This is the end game for me. It does not get better than this. I can't grow it.
We're in the end game now.
We're in the end game. Am I in the end game or am I in the?
I think you could grow a longer beard.
I could grow it longer. I choose to keep it sort
Yeah.
of trimmed down a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
It just
I-
stops like this.
I think we had Davin here with his, especially if he had like the old Rip Van Winkle beard he rocks sometimes.
Coal
ZZ
miner.
Top does. Coal miner's daughter. Yeah.
Him and Andre yesterday. And
Oh yeah,
then
Andre's got an epic beard too. Yeah.
poultry beard.
Yeah, we got some beards going on here. I was talking to James.
Hockey season hasn't even started yet.
Or playoffs, more specifically.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. All right. Well, guys, I think we can wrap up for tonight,
Yeah.
unless there's any other thoughts. But yeah,
Is the juice worth the squeeze in terms of the length of the episodes?
I would rather it be shorter. Honestly, I think I could do without the half hour, but it's fine. I think it makes them not have to have such a frantic edit. But and I like that they're not wasting it on. This is what the montages and the flashbacks and like this is who this person is and da, da, da,
Yeah,
you know?
Doesn't
I
it-
think
doesn't-
they got rid of that because
Yeah.
that was painful.
But doesn't it feel like a lot of the Red Tree team stuff would have been in like the hour skip week episode, like during Thanksgiving, where they like, here's all of Rome's antics that you didn't really see, looking back, if they did like the hour episodes.
Sure, but I guess if they're gonna make it an hour and half an hour longer, then give me strategy. Don't give me more like just people talking about their lives and their bios and how
But
much they love
Dave,
their family.
the
and
quality of strategy isn't even that top notch.
well, I think that the moments tonight with Sam and Andy and this whole like idol debacle were good. I think that the stuff with Rome and Teeny and Keyshawn and all that awkwardness was good. And I think that the dynamics on the Blue Tribe were fun to watch too. So overall, I'm okay. Like if you have this extra time, it's not like dramatically great strategy, but it beats what I was used to for the last couple seasons, which was more like it was that stuff plus like packages, basically.
Yeah.
Do
Do you like the box in a box in the box in a box?
not. Yes and no. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see them only get this one tribal council idol. I think that's like it's interesting to see how they each chose to go about that. I think Gabe got the 3 tribal idol, right?
And then immediately use it.
He immediately used it. Yeah.
Immediately used it. It's great.
No, they all took the same.
No, he went to 3.
He went to 3. He was the only one who did. The other 2 didn't.
And he plays it for no. Well,
Yes.
this guy is confusing.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Then
gosh,
when he says he's got to play it on I don't know. Yeah, and he'll be looking for it again. Because they'll replan, right?
which he shouldn't, because like, yeah, great job. You like, from his mentality, he's probably like, I need to throw, like, I want to take this thing off of me, like the idea that I have an idol, so I'm gonna use it, and then no one could say that I have an idol, and we can kind of move forward into the second part of this game, with my team, my group, my individuals. But yeah, he should have kept it or played it on Sue if he was gonna make a gesture like that.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think I think if Blue goes back to tribal, I think Gabe's in big trouble. I agree with you there. I think if Red goes, it should be Rome, but since it's not Rome, I'm completely clueless. And if Yellow goes, I think it might be Annika who goes to who gets voted out, or Rachel, one of those two, because I think that I think Sam is going to be controlling that side. Now it's possible that they target Sam too. Like I think Sam's also like a big target on that.
You shoot
side.
the hostage.
You shoot the hostage, yeah. Like and him protecting Andy's going to be considered not great for Rachel and maybe some and Annika, so especially. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of things can happen on the Yellow Tribe, which I think makes it more interesting.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. But do you think that the producers will wait to see who wins this next immunity idol or next immunity challenge, and then they'll decide for episode, I guess 5 or no 4, I guess it would be 4, episode 4, whether they do like a tribe swap or sort of a mashup?
I would wait as long as possible if you can,
Yeah.
because like right now we're not seeing. It doesn't look like there could be a pagonging or anything like that. So just
two tribes have lost here so far, and I think like you remember in the first episode who won the original challenge. I guess it was Yellow, right? And Red came last in that challenge, and they didn't get their Flint right away, but then they won this thing tonight. So I feel like there's not like a clearly dominant challenge tribe here. I think that all 3 tribes are somewhat even based on what we've seen so far. There's no clear pagong dominant here.
Next episode looks like another kind of water climb, relay race with the puzzle type of thing that we're gonna see.
Right.
So,
well, let's have a look at the preview for the next episode and see if we have any thoughts there.
So, for starters, were you two dating?
There's trouble in paradise here on Gata.
Next time on Survivor.
Ooh. I'm pissed off.
Let's go.
There they go.
I feel like I'm running this game right now. We might as well rename it to Survivor Rome.
Okay, a lot to unpack there. Let's start with Rome. Yeah, as well rename the Survivor Rome.
when in Rome. You're gonna say it too.
When in Rome, yeah. Do as the Romans do.
Yeah, like he's basically running the tribe. Whatever else, I don't. That's not likely the case. The other big thing we see in that package for next week is, Annika calling out Sam and Sierra. Are you two dating? And Sam says, "I'm pissed." In his little.
No, as he pulls an Andy and starts to whack on that cord with the machete.
And he's like, "Oh yes, let me see the knife there." And no, but yeah,
I loved the shot of Andy twirling his hair. Like that was my favorite part of that. It was just like, just in case you didn't think he was any more psycho next week, don't worry, we're gonna bring more of it. Like that's what they were. They're purposely showing us him in that is the character he is playing, and they know it too, and it's kind of great.
Who was the guy last season who had the mental breakdown, who we learned that was like an actor?
I forget. It was somebody who quit.
No. What was his name? It was South Asian individual, and he had the emotional breakdowns. And from last season, bald dude, South Asian gentleman.
Oh, Banu.
Banu.
Do I still have any Banu?
Of course you do.
Another piece cuts down.
Hashtag justice for Jess.
Yeah,
we're getting a lot more of that on Survivor.
I'm telling you.
And maybe it's not their casting, maybe it's just the populace in general. One out of every 17 people is kind of not all there.
I think that you saw this trend start with Carolyn, right? And it's kind of been carrying through in this new era where they're willing to take a little bit more chance on some of these more zany type of characters, people who are a little less normal, conventional, whatever labels you want to assign to them. But
it's gonna backfire one day, though.
Right? It absolutely could. Where you get sort of somebody you think is fine, but I guess that can always happen, even with people who are of have more standing. Obviously, the guy who was all feely, gropey right. Was a big Hollywood guy.
Yeah.
With, lots of establishment, right? And people loved him. And
probably attended a few Diddy parties in his day.
And that's probably one of the worst things ever to happen in Survivor so far.
His fellow producers comment about the quality of his couch.
Yeah, so what if you look at what's the history of Survivor bad things, right? I guess Richard rubbing his dick on Sue Hawk, and what else? And that
the outing of Zayn.
Yeah. Right, and so. I think there's never been any violence.
Zeke,
right?
Sorry, not Zane. Zeke.
Zeke.
There's never been somebody who punched somebody, or there's never been somebody ejected from the game for anything like that, right?
Scooping being set on fire was pretty bad.
Brandon Hance just trying
to kill Philip. Yeah,
was he ejected for that?
Yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah, the one where he tried to kill Philip and Probst had to rub his shoulders. Remember, he's like, just calm down.
No, well, he flipped out, and they had to pull him aside and kind of,
They removed him from the show. They're like, he's gonna kill Philip. So Jeff, rub his shoulders, give him a massage, and send him on.
And they threw out that other Hans, right? The Willie Hans.
That was in Big Brother.
That was Big Brother,
and he had Frank. Right?
Chef. No, he's Chef. What was the chef? The one who used to yell all the time. It wasn't Frank. Frank's the tank. It was Chef. What was his name?
Willie? No, Willie was. Hans.
No, Willie. Willie did the headbutt. It was Chef something.
Dude,
you see,
it was a Southern guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, which Hans was on Big Brother? Willie Hans?
Willie
Hans.
Hans.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes,
It was the coach's season.
Yeah. Agent Shepard would have had to take Brandon out, and he didn't want to, sully his hands and use his hands, which are listed as lethal weapons, against.
Please, the weapons. Sid Justice coming for you.
They gotta get Russell Hantz on the Traders. I gotta see.
He'd be fun on the Traders, especially if he was one of the Traders, or maybe if he wasn't. I don't know, but I'd be down for that. I'm not like I feel like Russell Hantz is persona non grata though in like a lot of the social media.
I think they used him way too much. There should have been a longer period of time before he even in hindsight, Redemption Island wasn't worth it. Having him, they should have waited a lot longer before bringing him back.
That was a letdown last time that was the last time he played, right? So
yeah.
That was the last time he was gonna play, and but he could have went and played Big Brother. He could have went to Traders would be perfect for him.
But just imagine if he didn't play Redemption Island and he came back during New Era.
Yeah, if he came back during that one where they did second chances or whatever it was, or they did one where it was like third chances too,
or Game Changers with
Game Changers,
Officer Sarah.
Yeah, Game Changers would have been perfect.
I am hearing a lot of buzz about Survivor 50, and who's potentially going to be part of that.
They've not. Russell's not coming back.
Not Russell, but they are doing returners, right?
But it's going to be a mix of old and new, because it's
old era.
Who are they going to bring from season 41 to 40? Like, who is the
Erica? She smashed the hourglass of history.
Yeah, it's slim pickings. This modern era Survivor has been.
They're gonna put a lot of. They want to promote New Era
Gabler.
as much as possible.
New Era Survivor has had we couldn't even remember who was on last season and who the biggest character, the biggest train wreck character. I totally forgot about him.
Badu?
Badu. I totally forgot about him, but he was I
remember Jess because I still think there needs to be justice for her.
Right.
Justice for Jess.
I smashed the hourglass and I changed the course of history.
Erica!
You can bring her back. She was on the Traders, wasn't she?
Marianne is in school, in medical school, so she's not going to leave that.
That's a Canadian Traders.
Oh, what about Omar could also go on that one, I guess.
Omar's too busy being a reporter.
Omar's a reporter?
He's on Rob has a podcast all the time.
Yeah.
Information is the most powerful thing in the game right now.
And when you hear Omar being referred to as a player to emulate constantly over and over when you're reading these bios, and you're he didn't really come that close, right? It just seems so weird that I don't know, we hear people's names brought up and people reference new age players, and I'm do you really want to emulate that? I know it's modern era and this is probably the 2 seasons you've seen of the show, but Sheehan is not someone you should be emulating. Jeff, do you remember Sheehan?
Yes.
Okay.
Who from the old era do you really want to see back?
From the old era.
Pre season
Fair Play. I'd love to see Fair Play again.
He'll never come back.
I know.
Forget it. It's never going to happen.
I would say never for Fair Play.
Well, okay. I as long as Probst is running the show, there's no way.
I'd love to see Shane, but I don't think that'll ever happen again.
Shane check his medication first.
Yeah.
I think Shane's more likely than Johnny Fairplay.
I would love to see Johnny Fairplay for sure, and Shane.
Sure. I would like to see those things. I just don't think they will happen. But who do you think is even a likely person for them to bring back? Not Sandra. Come on.
She just played Traders. She could totally come back.
I don't want to see Sandra, honestly.
I want to see Sandra, Rob. I don't need to see Parvati again. I don't need to see.
She's doing
She's the Traders as well.
She's also doing their Survivor World, the Australia versus the World.
Yes,
she's gonna be on that.
Yeah.
There might be some people who were early boots from the old era. I don't want to see. We already did the winners at War season. I don't think you need to see any of those people again, necessarily. Right? They had their hurrah. Maybe people who got
What about Ty?
Ty, maybe, yeah, somebody like that, who didn't win their season, but were a memorable character from their season. You could even do, sort of a second chances kind of a thing.
I like to see Spencer Bledsoe again. That'd be
Spencer.
fun.
What about what was it? Visepia's partner in crime, who like messed themselves up. What about Dreams? Why not Dreams?
Dreams would be great.
Dreams?
You got to look up Dreams, dude. If you don't remember Dreams,
that's from Fiji.
Yeah,
that's a deep cut.
Yeah,
they're really deep cut.
Dreams. Dreams would be great. Dreams, Shane Powers, Ty, like already there. Carolyn from New Age would be interesting.
Carolyn's the only person from the New Age where I'd be like, okay, I get why they brought her back.
Dreams Heard. He is now 42, but he was on. He's on Survivor for Fiji, which was in 2006 or 7.
So yeah. If you don't remember Dreams, like you should look up Dreams and then report back next episode.
Andre Heard, also better known as Dreams. I remember Dre. He was called Dre, wasn't he? Or no?
There was another person named. There's been Dre.
There's been other Dre's.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember him. It's been a minute since I watched Survivor Fiji. It's been.
What about Sugar?
Years.
Sugar.
That's the Sugar season. Okay.
No. Sugar would be. Sugar is the same season with Randy and Bob.
Bring back Rocky.
Rocky. What about remember the dude that Bob swindled for his idol, the gamer dude, the esports guy, where like him and Bob made a handshake deal, and then Bob's like, "No, I'm not giving you the idol for you to vote me out," and the guy's like, "No, we made a deal," and then he got petulant about him. I want him back.
Yeah, I remember. This is the season that Earl won. I vaguely remember this now. Yeah, and Dreams runner up.
So what about Yao Man?
Yeah, sure. I'd go for Yao Man again. Bring
Yao
him back.
Man's like 80s though, because he was
whatever.
old then.
Yeah,
whatever. It's fine. Rudy played. He was old.
Bring back Rupert for his 8th season.
No, I don't know where Rupert. Like none of these overused people. Like if you're gonna bring back, I if I don't remember them, even better.
Okay. But no, Shane Powers, Ty, who else? I'm telling you, you would love Dreams. Dreams was just a train wreck.
Dreams was great.
Yeah, I kind of remember
too. I think.
What?
Yeah,
Dreams made it to the end.
Yeah, that was the great thing.
Yeah.
What was the woman that everyone thought was insane? She was like the older lady that used to do push-ups. I think.
Shambo.
No, not Shambo. Shambo. Although Shambo is another interesting character. She's the one who she kind of mentioned like she possibly could have worked for the CIA, but you weren't quite sure.
She was from that season.
No, she isn't New Era. She's in the 40s, I believe. Like the 39s, I think. Right? She dark hair, older lady, very she was thin, but she was very like strong. But she was like really like she used to yell all the time and fly off the handle. And she would say she was like the best at everything. She would talk about how good she is at this and good she was a special agent, and she if I can remember her name, I forget her. She might be a Carolyn as well. But
sorry, there's been so many of these people. I can't keep track of them all anymore. Like you remember people like Yao Man for sure, but but there's others you don't so much. Okay, guys. Well,
we kept that going so long.
We kept that going. That was a good outro. I think we've said all that has to be said about this episode. We'll see you next week for the 3rd episode, which is titled Belly of the Beast. We'll see what that's about. It will be October 2nd next week. Don't you dare miss it. And we'll see you next time here on the Super Mater Brothers podcast. Of course, check out our Big Brother coverage if you're following Big Brother this season. It's been pretty good on Big Brother 26. We'll be on to talk about the next eviction and the 3rd juror, I believe. And with all that, we'll leave you tonight. How about this with a little bit of Jeff Probst telling you how to do it when you're on Survivor. We'll see you next time.
What's great about Survivor, you might be right. It might be a 5-0 vote tonight.
Yeah.
You might be wrong.
Yeah.
You don't know. You fight until I snuff your torch. That goes for everybody.
We fought.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. Tune in to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Artistic interviews with graphic histories. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And while you're at it, spin a few records with Eamon on Track. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.